It certainly was a busy and muggy day at a feverish Tokyo airport one day in 1954. Those passengers who had just departed stood in a sombre queue, waiting for the customs agent to review and properly stamp their passports. As the hordes of passengers spill out from the terminals, one passenger, a tall, mysterious man, stood apart from the rest. The man presented an authentic-looking European passport and carried European currency from several countries and carried himself in a professional manner, but that wasn't what alerted the authorities. No matter how much they had searched, the customs agents could not find the European country that had issued him the passport anywhere in their maps. The unheard country of Tuared. When they asked the Caucasian man to point on their map where Tuared was located, he answered them in fluent Japanese. The man told them that it was a small country in Europe, nestled between France and Spain. When the agents produced a map, he pointed to where the Principality of Andorra, Spain rests. The mysterious man took a step back when he realised his country didn't exist on any of the maps. He claimed that the country of Tuared had been there for almost 1,000 years and that he has never heard of Andorra. He produced a driver's licence issued by the government of Tuared and accompanying documents such as bank statements and business papers that were all found to be invalid alongside his bank account. There was an eerie silence in the interrogation room as all the customs agents stared at the new arrival. The tall, mysterious man from Tuared looked as confused as they were. And don't forget, if you like what you see here on the Unconventional Ufologist, just like and subscribe. It's one small click for you, but one giant leap for this channel. It had been 9 years since the end of World War II and Tokyo was busier than ever. The city began to sprawl as more and more countries landed. Most of the travellers to the island country found themselves in long queues waiting to get their passports stamped and allowed entry into the country. Life in Japan was returning to normal, except of course for the high strangeness that was going on inside the customs interrogation room. 8 hours after landing, the mysterious man from Tuared sat tired and frustrated in the cramped interrogation room. He kept insisting that he was from the country of Tuared and was in Japan on a business trip. The man told the officials that he had been travelling to Japan from Tuared for the last 5 years without problems. He pointed to the past stamps that were issued on his passport to prove that he'd been travelling back and forth from Tuared to Japan with no problems at all. Airport officials then placed a phone call to the company the man claimed to work for and found that it didn't exist. Tired and getting nowhere, they decided to send the man to a guarded hotel room so that he could rest while the proper authorities were contacted and a follow-up investigation was planned. The mysterious man left the Tokyo airport escorted by police and customs officials. He was placed inside a hotel room high above the hustling city streets, with only a small window and no ledge. After a light dinner at the hotel's kitchen, he was escorted back to his room where he stayed the entire night. The guards reported not seeing or hearing him after the door was closed. When morning approached, they knocked and received no answer, and upon entering the room, the officials were shocked to discover that he'd vanished. With no possible escape routes other than the well-guarded front door, Japanese officials scratched their heads in total bewilderment. An extensive search was subsequently launched by the Tokyo Police Department, only to come up empty-handed. There was no sign of him anywhere. As mysteriously as he appeared on that Tokyo airport that fateful day in 1954, the man from Tuared vanished. This story appeared in the book The Directory of Possibilities by Colin Wilson and John Grant in 1982. No one knows for certain if this was a factual account. No documents or newspaper clippings exist other than what was written by Colin Wilson and John Grant. In the story, The Man from Tuared, we learn that a European visit to Tokyo seems to be caught between two worlds, one of which the man's reality seems similar to ours, except of course for the country that doesn't exist, at least in our world. Tuared exists in no map, yet the man carried official documentation to prove otherwise. So what really happened in that muggy Tokyo airport in 1954? Could the man from Tuared have been a traveller caught between a wormhole, one that sent him unknowingly into our dimension, an alternate universe in which things played out entirely different, a world that lived under the control of the Axis side? Another explanation is that the man from Tuared was telling the truth. As far as he was concerned, he came from the country of Tuared. He's always known of his country to exist and had never heard of the Principality of Andorra before seeing it printed on the Japanese world map. As far as he was concerned, everyone had to be playing a prank on him. However, we all know that Andorra clearly had existed for quite some time and that the Allies won the war. So could this man be a spy for some dark government agency sent on a mission to Japan? A brainwashed spook that was given a false identity alongside all documentation to make him believe? The Principality of Andorra has certainly had a long history with war and politics, so that explanation won't be a stretch. What happened inside that Tokyo airport we may never know. One thing is for certain, strange things happen every single day. And if that gentleman was indeed from another dimension, shall we say that we hope that he did get home safely.